Good morning, dear students. I hope you all are fit and fine. Welcome to social science class. We will continue with chapter number 3, that is our changing earth. I hope you got your date sheet and this syllabus. So you will find that this chapter, current chapter which we are doing, is also in your yearly exam syllabus. So make sure that you try to understand in this time only, yes, so that there should be no doubt left in between. Tomorrow we will be having our live classes plus one more video I will be sharing with you to complete this chapter. So our changing earth, just a quick recap, हमने क्या क्या पढ़ लिया है इसमें. So our changing earth means that earth is constantly into motion and earth is never a dynamic thing, means continents, oceans, everything is continuously in motion. We have already discussed that due to continental drift theory as well as the plate tectonics, the Pangea is divided into the 7 continents which we see currently in this world. Now, there are some endogenic forces and there are some exogenic forces which help to Earth to change its form, which helps, or which you can say wear, tear, or break the rock crust and the land and the oceans. So the process which are used by the interiors of the earth, means the forces which are take place in the interiors of the earth, are called as the endogenic forces. Volcano and earthquakes are two examples of endogenic forces. Then exogenic forces means all the forces which are above the surface of earth. Surface of earth के ऊपर है, means it is on the land and it is changing the rock structure with the help of weathering, means wear tear of rock, with the, or you can say with the help of high stream river, or with the help of wind. So that erosions is changing the landforms of our earth. Okay, first you can say the endogenic force volcano we have already discussed in detail. Molten magma, yes, exploded out of the wind. And different types of volcanoes, active volcanoes, dormant volcanoes, and extinct volcanoes. Then we have seen the set the expansion as well as the area in which the volcanoes are there. Now today we will start our next topic, that is earthquake. Before that, you will see there is two MCQ mentioned above at the end of the volcano topic. First says which force act in the interiors of the earth, endogenic forces, exogenic forces, or none of these. So the correct answer will be endogenic forces. So interior it is endogenic, exterior it is exogenic. Okay. Second, dash Mount Dash is a dormant volcano. Okay, Mount Dash is a dormant volcano. There is Mount Etna, there is Mount Vesuvius, and Kilimanjaro. So the correct answer is B, Mount Vesuvius. Okay, so this was the answer. Now next topic is related to earthquake. So today we will start what is earthquake, what are different kinds of earthquake waves, how to measure earthquake. Now earthquake in Hindi simply means भूकंप. आपने काफी बार न्यूज में सुना होगा, or even you have also felt last year in Sirsa also we have some kind of earthquake which was there reported in Sirsa also. So earthquake को हिंदी में भूकंप कहते हैं. Let's start what earthquake really is and then I will come to the explanation.
Earthquakes. The sudden shaking of the earth caused by internal forces of the earth is called the earthquake.
अब देखिए, the definition says the sudden shaking of the earth caused by the internal forces of the earth is called earthquake. Sudden shaking, yes, you see that the it is very hard to predict earthquake. Okay, and the sudden shaking which leads to the structural collapse ओके, काफी बिल्डिंग्स, काफी घर गिर जाते हैं ड्यू टू दिस sudden shaking of the earth, because the land on which we have built houses, yes, if that got shaken, ultimately the foundation stone of the buildings will got shake, and that can lead to the collapse of that buildings. Okay, so when we are talking about the earthquake, it is a sudden shaking of the earth.
It originates from the interior of the Earth and the point of origin is called the focus. The point on the surface of the Earth exactly above the focus is called the epicenter.
So yes, the point from where the earthquake really started. See, this is the surface of the earth. This is surface of the earth. Okay, green, green. And this is the surface of the earth layer. Okay. Now, the interiors of the earth from where the earthquake starts. So that point is called as focus. That point is called as focus. When you draw a perpendicular line, straight line to the surface of earth, the point where it meets, that point is called as epicenter. Very much important. आप फिर से ध्यान से एक बार समझ लें इस चीज को. The interior of the earth from where actually the pressure the earthquake releases, that point is called as focus. Perpendicular to that, straight to the surface of the earth, ओके, जहां पे ये पॉइंट बनता है, दैट पॉइंट इज कॉल्ड एज एपी सेंटर. ओके, वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट. काफी बार ये कंसेप्ट क्लियर नहीं रहता. इट विल अगेन कम इन योर नाइन्थ क्लास एंड देन इन 11th क्लास. सो इट्स गुड टू मेक श्योर कि आपके जो कंसेप्ट हैं वो अभी क्लियर हो जाएं. इट विल बी बेनिफिशियल फॉर यू इन द नेक्स्ट क्लासेस.
The earthquakes send shock waves all around and cause widespread destruction to life and property. The vibrations of an earthquake spread out as concentric waves from the focus. These vibrations are called seismic waves. The intensity of the earthquake is maximum near its epicenter.
So see guys, this is very much important. The vibration of an earthquake spread out as a concentric waves is called from the focus. Yes, that vibration is called as the seismic waves. कहने का मतलब, you have seen that, suppose this is the surface of the earth, okay, and this is the interior of the earth, this is the focus. So when the, from where the focus, where the earthquake originates, you will see that it will generate the waves. Okay, it will generate the waves in the form of a, you can say, circle. कभी आपने, you just see, drop a stone in a water, you will find that it will make a waves which are moving outside. Okay, so the waves are moving outside this side. Okay, this waves, this vibration is called as seismic wave, and the intensity of the earthquake is maximum near to its uh, near to its epicenter. Suppose this is the epicenter, तो epicenter पे ज्यादा intensity नहीं होती. Nearby area to the epicenter is more prone to the intensity of earthquake. Okay, vibrations are called as the seismic waves, and destruction, you will find that destruction of earthquake is more nearby areas of the epicenter. It is not like only on the epicenter the destruction will be more. No, the nearby area, because it travels to the waves and waves keep on expanding, resulting into the seismic waves.
The surface of the earth can shake due to movements of the lithospheric plates, volcanic eruptions, or even bomb explosions. Kinds of earthquake waves.
Now, last one, what was there, that earthquake can originate from plate tectonics. Means you have seen that when two plates collided, they will create a pressure. If that pressure comes to the earth in the form of a seismic wave, then it is called as the earthquake. Even if you are practicing any bomb, okay, nuclear bomb, if you drop any nuclear bomb, that big bomb will also affect, disturb the layers of the soil, ultimately leading to the earthquake. मीन्स किसी भी तरह से earthquake की जो layers हैं, अर्थ की जो layers हैं, वो disturb नहीं होनी चाहिए. If that got disturbed, ultimately it will result to the earthquake. Now there are three different kinds of waves we will study under this kinds of earthquake. मतलब जो waves बनकर आई हैं वो भी three types की हैं. Let's see what are the three types of waves.
A. Primary waves. The fastest and foremost waves are primary waves, that is P waves, which are also called push waves. These waves generally travel at a speed of about 6 kilometers per second. Small displacement are caused by these waves. B. Secondary waves. The secondary waves, that is S waves, arrive after P waves. They are also termed as S waves or shock waves. The rate of P wave is higher than that of S waves. A strong shaking action is produced by S waves. They do not pass through liquids. C. Surface waves. The surface waves travel over the surface of the earth. They are the last to arrive. Most of the damage is caused by these waves as they are very powerful. Their effect is not observed at great depths.
So yes, kinds of waves. So earthquake waves जो है that is divided into three parts: primary wave, secondary waves, and surface wave. Now sorry, when we are talking about primary waves is simply means that it's primary क्या होता है सबसे पहले. Yes, primary. So primary waves are the fastest and the foremost waves to, you can say, also called as the push waves. Now these waves travel 6 kilometer per second, 6 kilometer per second. Okay, but overall small displacement is caused as we are moving from primary waves to secondary waves to the surface wave. The devastation will increase. Means the lethal one is the surface waves. Means when it reaches the surface with full extent. Now secondary wave is also called as the shock waves. Okay, shock waves की अगर हम बात करें तो that is the secondary waves, and it is second to arrive after the primary waves. So first, on any instrument, first it will be detected primary waves, then secondary waves. Okay, the rate of the, you can say, secondary waves is higher than that of the rate of the P wave, means primary wave is higher than that of an secondary waves, but secondary waves are more lethal. More lethal means shaking of the ground is more strong shaking as compared to the primary waves. But there is one important point that secondary waves do not passes through the liquid. Now primary wave can pass from all the three states: solid, liquid and gas. But the secondary waves can only pass from the solid state. It will not pass through the liquid state. So that is the reason it will not goes beyond the molten magma of asthenosphere or the lower mantle. ठीक है, lower mantle से नीचे ये नहीं जाती. Surface wave, you can say, is the last which reaches the surface of the earth, and as it reaches surface of the earth, it is the of the damage most of the damage is caused by these waves, and they are very powerful. Destruction सबसे ज़्यादा surface wave करती है. This effect is not observed at great depth, but overall it is the most powerful surface wave, and it causes a huge destruction in the nearby areas and that point where the earthquake has come. So आपको ये चीज याद रखनी है. Different kinds of earthquake, three kinds: primary, secondary and surface waves. Surface waves सबसे ज्यादा powerful और destructive हैं, as compared to secondaries and primary. Primary is the one जो सबसे पहले report होती है, secondary उसके बाद, और primary is, you can say, it's cause smaller displacement, secondary उससे ज़्यादा करती है और surface wave सबसे ज़्यादा करती है. Okay, so this was about the different kinds of waves. Now, next topic is how we can measure the earthquake. So you know that earthquake continuously come in Himalayan regions because that is unstable region. जो area बहुत unstable है, means there is a still plates are colliding with each other and moving to one and another parts. So that area will have disturbance that will not have the stability which give rise to the earthquake frequently. And so we need some instruments to measure the earthquake. So what are those instruments? Let's see.
How to measure earthquakes? The science that deals with earthquakes is called seismology, and the earthquake scientists are called seismologists.
Good point. There could be a question in your MCQs. Okay, that what is the science that deals with earthquake is called? So that is called as the seismology. Seismo, yes, हमने अभी पढ़ा था seismic waves, vibrations. That is called seismic waves. वहीं से ये word आया है seismologist. And the scientist who research this seismology is called as seismologist. Make sure you write the correct spelling. Okay, there will be you can say negative marking, or there will be marks deducted for your spelling mistakes. If you are doing spelling mistakes more than two, then there will be a deduction of marks. So seismology or seismologist, you should know the spelling of this too.
They are experts who study the pattern of the earthquakes. Seismograph is the instrument which records the intensity of the earthquake waves. American seismologist Charles Richter designed the Richter scale.
So yes, dear, the study of earthquake is called as seismologist. जो वो study करते हैं, that is called as uh, the study of the earthquake is called as seismology. The study who do that, the scientists who do that are called as seismologists, or the instruments which is used to detect or to measure the earthquake. Sorry, the instruments used to measure the earthquake is called as seismograph. It was made by the American seismologist Charles Richter, also known as the Richter scale. आपने काफी बार देखा होगा in news that the media is using that now. India or Himalaya region have जो भूकंप था, that was around 7.2 on the Richter scale. That was 5 on the Richter scale, 3 on the Richter scale. So this is a scale to measure the इंटेंसिटी की कितना बड़ा अर्थक्वेक ये रहा है, कितना लीथल ये अर्थक्वेक रहा है. द मोर द नंबर, द मोर पावरफुल दैट अर्थक्वेक इज.
It was invented in 1935. The Richter scale has the range of 0 to 9. The Richter scale clearly states that the force of the earthquake is 10 times greater than that of the previous one if there is an increase of 1 point. All the earthquakes that measure 6 and above are termed as destructive.
Yes, so you know that the seismic scale, yes, Richter scale is from 0 to 9. 9 means the highest, the most destructive earthquake. Okay, and earthquake that measures more than 6, if the earthquake Richter scale is more than 6, then ultimately that is a destructive earthquake which can even cause a lot of problems in nearby areas. Now, Richter scale, what Richter scales actually do? So, Richter scale clearly states the forces of the earthquake in 10 times greater. Is it 10 times greater than that of the previous one if there is an increase in 1 point? Means if there is an increase of 1 point, that means the earthquake is 10 times greater than the previous one. Okay, this is how the Richter scale actually works.
According to an estimate, 1 million earthquakes are recorded every year. In India, we have experienced many earthquakes in the Himalayan region. The Deccan Plateau was considered relatively safe from earthquakes as it had experienced some earthquakes of low intensity only. Yet, it later experienced a major earthquake in 1993. Given below is a list of some destructive earthquakes that have rocked India. 1991, Uttarkashi, Uttarakhand. 1993, Latur, Maharashtra. 1997, Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh. 1999, Chamoli, Uttarakhand. 2001, Bhuj, Gujarat. 2005, Jammu and Kashmir.
So yes, क्या था इस slide में that you have seen that according to an estimates 1 million earthquakes are recorded every year. 1 million means 10 lakhs. 10 lakh earthquakes all over the world. It's a very big number. But see, the earthquake with a Richter scale value of 2 and 3, that is not a destructive, means that is also counted as the earthquake. Why? Because see, Earth is continuously in motion, and due to some problems, Earth always wanted to release its pressure. Okay, due to some human activities also, या कुछ it's geologically also it's possible. So 10 lakh, you can say, earthquakes are recorded every year, but still overall, if the Richter scale rating is more than 6, then only that is a destructive. Otherwise, if it has a rating Richter scale of 3, 1 or 2, then that will be a normal earthquake. Okay. The peninsular India means the South India is relatively areas which is see less earthquake as compared to Himalaya region. So Himalaya region experience a lot of earthquakes. ऐसा क्यों होता है? Because Himalayan region is recently formed. Himalayan region is recently formed, and it is constantly Indian plate is constantly into motion under the Eurasian plate, resulting into the disturbance of that areas. So you just have to see that Himalayan regions are more prone to the earthquake as compared to peninsular India, which is a more stable mass. But overall, you will see that कि कुछ जगह पर वहां पर भी lethal earthquake was there in 2001 in Bhuj, which is not in the Himalayas, it is in Gujarat, but that was a very destructive earthquake. We will study the case study. Okay. Then Latur was also in 1993 in Maharashtra, which is not in the Jammu and which is not in the Himalayan regions. But some of the important here givens are in 1991 Uttarkashi in Uttarakhand, 93 Latur, 97 Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh, 99 Chamoli, 2001 Bhuj, and 2005 Jammu and Kashmir. Now, I hope you know that Jammu and Kashmir is not a state, it is turned into a union territory, and Jammu and Kashmir is divided into two union territory. One is Jammu and Kashmir and other is Ladakh. Okay, so you just have to remember this. Okay, ki where Uttarkashi actually is, where Latur is actually is. Okay, and where the Jabalpur is. There could be a math question regarding this option. So this was it for today's lecture. We will continue with next by distribution of earthquake. So before that there is a MCQ. P waves P waves travels at a speed of 6 kilometers per second, 8 kilometers per second, 20 kilometers per second. So the correct answer is 6 kilometers per second. Okay. Next MCQ. The expert who study the pattern of the earthquakes are called as scientist, seismologist, or artist. So the correct answer is seismologist. Thank you so much.